been a while since I've last vlogged. Big part of that is just not feeling well enough, and also feels like a lot of things are coming and going right now in my day-to-day, what I'm able to do, and so some things just simply drop away, or just not able to face it or do it, and then other things come back around again, and sometimes that can be, I don't know if the word's dysregulating, but when things kind of sort of come in an influx of energy, and then you're able to, there's some consistency to doing something, and then suddenly it disappears and you have no energy to do it, but you're left with the imprint on the mind, the psyche of that, and having to deal with, that's suddenly just gone, and I'm not able to do that right now, and the sudden changes of things, that's hard to deal with. I thought I'd record right now because I'm feeling quite dysregulated, which is a word that I've just trying to make use of the meaning behind that and coming across it. So I've been doing some work with complex PTSD, and it's often a word that's explained to explain the feelings of not being in the body, or it can also be closely linked to dissociation as well, but just being completely, and also brain fog, so it kind of all overlaps, but not being able to think clearly. And so I've got all these terms, and I feel like dysregulation also fits in with that. And so it's just actually moments before recording, I was just standing here thinking, trying to figure out my food for today, and I just couldn't think clearly at all. It was frustrating. I know I'm tired as well. I haven't been sleeping well at all these last maybe the last month or more. It's been, at one point it got really severe where I was kind of constantly waking up in the middle of the night, and at this point that's reduced. I'm only now just waking up really early in the morning, and I'm wondering if I've got like a skylight here, and I've just been reluctant to close the blinds because I've had trouble I think there's a technique to opening the blinds and closing them so it doesn't all sort of scrunch up, and just one extra thing to do or thing to avoid. So I was either thinking of using an eye mask, or maybe it's better to try and see if I can close that blind in the mornings. So it's not kind of right above the bed, it's sort of, as the bed is there, it's kind of further down in the kitchen, just there. But wondering if the light is, I'm sure it's probably influencing me waking up earlier, as well as my the mind stuff that perhaps jolts me awake. So right now it feels like there's a lot of this low mood there. There's sort of brain fog, dissociation, dysregulation. Again, all these words sometimes feel interchangeable with each other, or they at least overlap, like overlapping circles. What I noticed yesterday was that as soon as I had something to eat, I felt a lot more better, so maybe that's something I need to do now. Actually, I haven't eaten yet today, and I feel like maybe that's a big that helps a lot with just regulating my mental energies. Maybe even there's benefits from fasting, but also maybe this is perhaps a side effect for me, where I'm struggling in other areas, and that I may not be able to do that as often, or especially right now. And I guess that led me to think about food and what should I have, and organising meals, and I was just getting a bit paralysed, really. I've got this scrambled tofu that I bought a while ago, and it's due to expire, so it's a very good excuse to try and use that today. And I thought I'd try to make a little sort of vegetarian breakfast. And then I was just thinking, okay, that's going to be a fairly big meal, so maybe I should have that later in the day, so it's hard to eat a lot first thing. And I was thinking, okay, what should I have for breakfast? And I was thinking perhaps I should have porridge, but do I have the energy for that? And then my mind went to dinner as well, thinking, okay, I made a stir fry yesterday, and I'm not sure if I have the appetite, or because it kind of, the last few days I've been pushing myself to eat healthier, and it's been a struggle, and I feel like I need a bit of a release from that, having something a bit different. So yeah, kind of, it's easy to get me in a bit of a muddle. It's strange also I find talking like this out loud, I feel like it's dysregulating me more, but I can see how much I am in that state. Because usually when I'm just in my mind thinking, I know I'm not doing well in this moment, but it's I feel like doing this vlog, it kind of makes it more sharper in the way I can't, even where I'm talking sometimes, where it's not a smooth flow and it's chopping and changing. Maybe that reflects what's going on internally, and it's a bit more apparent because I'm speaking out loud. So if that makes sense, it's a bit more clear how much I am. Reminds me also sometimes where if I'm walking in the street, I can probably look perfectly normal, like I'm just going about my business, but say if I was to walk outside now, I'd probably put on the face of normality a little bit, or try and not look unwell. But so much is going on inside. We're watching these videos with a friend, and it's been helping just to understand and get a bit of tools as well about CPTSD, complex PTSD, and like I watched a video yesterday about dysregulation, which really, really helped, and also it's a little bit, I don't know if concerning is the right word, but I was aware of how much I'm in that state of not being sort of calm and present in my body, and in that moment how much I'm trying to think of some of the descriptions the person used, and they used like you've got like a wet mop on your head and things are kind of hitting you, or you've got shoes are too big, feeling too big, so everything feels a little bit weird. Use some other good descriptions as well, but just try to kind of validate and describe how it feels like to be dysregulated. So yeah, I think we need to sort out some food right now, I know it won't completely take it away like it didn't last time, but it will, go towards minimizing it or lessening it, which is something I need to acknowledge as well. Sometimes I can be black and white with stuff of, can I do to fully get rid of this or come back fully into my presence or into my body. I'm also thinking how I'm going to try and get outside today. So it's all these questions, and it's quite stressful. It takes a lot of energy, like what should I eat, when should I eat this, and Okay, good thing to acknowledge, I guess, today is I got up and I showered and I got out. I didn't do a huge amount of exercise this morning. I just did one lap around the park, so it's about 10 minutes. But I sat in the sun for a while, so that's a really big plus. I can try and acknowledge I got some serotonin and some sunlight. It's going to help with depressive symptoms. It doesn't feel like it's a lot's helping right now, but I'm sure it's helping in some way, even though I can't feel it in a big way. So that's a plus, and maybe I can try my best to get out this afternoon. I'm just trying to feel like what will motivate me to get out, and usually maybe it's some kind of nice food, but I'm trying to reach the balance of releasing myself from healthy food and having something a bit something that I want, but it's also that doesn't lead into a binge, so it's kind of a bit of a balancing act. It doesn't feel like I can maintain, or it's healthy to maintain just pure strict healthy eating as much as possible, because it's like a pressure cooker building up as well. So I'm trying to figure that out about what I can have, and I'm worried that if it's possible for me to do that. Yeah, like I've got ideas about getting something really small, like a really small mini pizza, and then just having that in some way, and whether that's enough, whether that will take the edge off enough for me to kind of then go back to a bit more healthier the next day or next meal. And in my head it's like, no, I need to get all this big stuff, and maybe I just need to get a small amount and just have it and see if that does it for me, takes off the edge, and so it's not just all in my mind, or I've made that decision already, I've not actually done it. And a question as well, how to sort of spend my day. So there's a film I was going to watch this morning. It's a film I've seen before. It's like an easygoing sort of movie, I think, an easy watch, and again, I've been really find it hard to get myself to sit down and watch something, and it's usually healthy when I do, just to have that moment of rest, of immersion in something. So maybe I'll try and filter that in today as well, whether I watch something now and have something to eat, and then after that sort of head outside for a long walk, maybe hit the shops to get some stuff, to get some food. Got some, like, I don't often have soy burgers anymore or anything processed like that, but I've got some in my fridge that I'm wondering if I can have that, or if I should just get some kind of pizza later. And it's a real issue with pizza, because it sounds like sometimes it just doesn't sort of satisfy that element. It feels like if I get a pizza, sometimes it just, like, I know I'm jumping around here, but I think over a week ago I bought like a pizza base which had a small amount of cheese on it, and I tried to make my own pizza sauce and added some peppers and this vegan cheese, which wasn't the right type of vegan cheese, and it just didn't turn out great at all. It feels like I never really hit that spot, really. Some of the pizzas that I can probably get may just affect my IBS, so yeah, feels like I'm in a bit of a what's it called, a rock and a hard place. Feels like that a little bit. Now, one of the tools to help with dysregulation is breathing, so I've been trying to do that. The kind of instructor says to sort of, lengthen the exhale, and maybe can't think of the word now, but sort of pronounce the exhale more, sort of thing. feeling tired as well, so that's probably contributing to, as well as maybe not eating, feeling tired. And for the last few days or more, I've been sort of trying to take a nap or lie down, even though I know sleep hygiene stuff says not to do that, but it's been so difficult for me to force myself to stay awake. That doesn't feel healthy either. So, and usually I never really get asleep at all. I just end up just resting and feeling restless. And it was only yesterday I think I was probably so exhausted. I've got an eye mask which really comes in handy in a day if I'm lying down. So I put on some ASMR and an eye mask, and it just something seemed to click where I was able to get a bit of rest. So that was, I woke up or got up at just past midday feeling tired, but I felt a bit more sane. I felt that there was some rest that happened there. So right now it's just still before 10 in the morning, so still early, but somehow it feels like the day just feels, foreboding's the right word. That means kind of a bit fearful. I think it would be really good for me to just get in a bit of a walk. So there's like an M&S, a grocery shop that's about a half an hour walk away, so I can get in a good walk and maybe get something nice for myself there, maybe some nice rolls for the burgers at some point, whether that's today or another time. And I'm wondering if I can I do sell vegan pizzas there, so maybe that's something I can get from there maybe, even though in my mind I want to sort of get regular cheese, even though it's going to really mess with my IBS, but something about wanting me to do that. So maybe I can resist that. I don't know. So that's a potential option, to go to M&S there, and maybe that's enough motivation to get me out. And I think, any time around that would just be just trying to soothe and cope, really. Watching a movie. Been playing a little bit of chess and poker. That was something, again, as I talked about right at the start, that I just completely went away. I was playing a lot of free sort of poker just to stimulate the mind and just get myself focused on something, and then that went away. And then for a time I was doing a lot of tarot again, that went away for a long time, and it came back quite intensely. And I even bought a new book about tarot, which I want to say I regret, but it's not fair on myself saying that, because I did it from a really good intention. So I thought that would continue and I could learn more about tarot and maybe even offer it as a service. And my mind went into the future about perhaps a way to support myself outside of the income support I'm getting now. Then that kind of dropped away. And same with writing as well. So a lot of things are just coming and going, and I'm kind of getting used to that, really. And it's too painful to hold on to and think, what if I was able to keep doing that? And it just feels like I'm just too unwell and it's too painful. So whatever comes in now, even recording this vlog, it's too painful to kind of feel like if there's a good feeling about the idea of, let's keep this up and let's start doing consistent videos, and I just know things are just too unpredictable. I've no idea when things are coming and going, how long this will last. I may record for some consistency, and then suddenly it may just drop off or disappear again. So I'm trying to be okay with that, just influx and things coming and going, because I have to be okay with it in some ways, because it's just too painful not to be. So so that's today. Sort out food, maybe plan to go out later for that walk and get a few bits. a few groceries from that place. Maybe watch a film, that film that I mentioned. I guess my days get split up a little bit as well, so it feels like there's the morning, then there's the sort of late morning, afternoon, and then there's the evening. So it feels like mornings are usually okay, because I get up and take a shower, then usually go to the park to get my morning light and maybe a little bit of movement, so like I did this morning. And then from now until evening, it's like I need to sort of manage that as well, where it's a bit more open. Like evenings are a bit more kind of like mornings, really, where I know, okay, at some point I need to go to bed. It's a bedtime, get myself ready for bed, and then have dinner. And so it feels like kind of contained a little bit. There's a bit more structure-ish there, and then there's now the sort of late morning, afternoon period of the day for me to try and manage and do things with. I do need to wash the dishes as well. Do you ever think all these vlogs is like a saga of washing dishes? It's like a running theme. I remember my first vlog or two, I was talking about dishes for a large amount of it. So that's the kind of thing that I'm struggling with as well. I've got a doctor's appointment coming up just because I've got some sort of dry skin issues on my back that I need to get looked at. And I was supposed to, I was signed up to get some help. I think there's a service that offers help in various different areas. I'm not sure exactly what they do, but I tried to arrange an appointment with them, but I didn't hear back. They offered me an appointment for a day and time, and I emailed the person to say yes, I'll accept that appointment, but I didn't hear back from them. And then I think I emailed again to say, is that appointment going ahead? And then I also got hold of their number and texted them, and I didn't hear anything. So that was a bit discouraging to do, because it's really hard to ask for help. So I may try and get re-referred to that, and maybe speak to the GP to say that this person didn't get back to me, so can you re-refer me again? So I don't want to just keep having to message them and not get a response. It doesn't feel nice to do that. So I've got that coming up as well. So I've got all these questions about basic stuff about the day, food, eating, when I should go for a walk, but I guess some of it's coming a little bit into place. So I felt like I should now get some food, maybe watch that film, maybe do something different this morning, and maybe it will settle me a bit, just to calm me and give me some rest, perhaps. And then I can figure out the rest of the afternoon, like going out to get some groceries, and then maybe I don't have to figure out everything now, which is always a reminder when I'm in this sort of place where my mind wants everything planned and sorted out, but I don't have the energy, and it's just too much to do. It feels so weird, because it feels like I can hear my voice and know how I'm coming across, but there's a part of me inside thinking, why are you sounding so unwell? Why can't you just speak normally and have a normal facial expression, not look so it's really I don't know the word to use, but it's strange that I can't. Like, my mind is saying, why are you talking this way? Talk normally. But I can't. It's whatever energy is in me. Maybe there's some explanation for that. It's weird. Again, it's kind of enunciates certain symptoms by vlogging like this and talking out loud. It makes me feel more unwell than I am, but I know that I'm probably sort of that much unwell. But in my mind, I feel like, no, I'm actually, if I can try and make sense of this thought, that I'm more well than I think I am, but maybe I'm not. It's a whole nother tangle of thoughts to get lost in. it's okay just to sit here for a few moments before deciding whether to, if there's anything else I want to say. Just thinking, I had this thought a couple of days ago whether to join it's an old mental health support group services that I used to go to the meetings, and although I may not be able to go to a physical one, but for today they may have a morning meeting, maybe do an online one, but it means I'll have to go outside to get reception as well. But maybe I'll keep that in mind if that's something I'm able to do, even maybe this evening, to do like a evening meeting, and maybe I can just, part of that I can just go for a walk, sort of listening while I'm walking, maybe. Yeah, I should end this now and get some food, because I feel like I could just be here for probably end up falling asleep or something. Yeah, just some thoughts before I wrap up. Again, it just feels like I'm not sure if this is useful to vlog or not really. So it seems like I feel like I make myself more unwell, or it's hard to. I feel like it's both things really. It's probably healthy for me to try and formulate my. It's gone. I've probably made some noise in the audio. Yeah, on one hand, it's really healthy to express thoughts and try and get stuff outside of my mind. But on the other hand, it takes a lot of energy to talk like this, and also there's the effect of how I sound and the impact of that. Thinking, how do I feel after recording? Like right now, it doesn't feel nice in a sense. It just feels like I've just not been making sense, or been coming across really seeing myself like this a little bit on camera. It's not that. It's kind of both things really. I feel like there's some benefits to this, but it's also there's difficulties in it as well. So anyway, that's just a final thought.